moving into aged care, the financial aspect can be very complicated. Despite the fact we've been discussing this for a few months now, ladies, I'm still confused by the concepts of RADs and DAPs.
I don't think you're alone in that, Clinton.
Honestly, Clinton, I run a forum on our website on Aged Care 101, and every day there are questions coming in about the finances around aged care. And, some of these RADs can be quite a large amount of money. I mean, they can be more than $500,000.
There are a lot of different options on how you can finance this. It's not always about completely selling the family home and liquidating that cash. Martin Barry is from our sponsors, Trobe Financial, and can help us explain how financially this works. G'day, Martin.
G'day.
Welcome, Martin.
Thanks for joining us.
So you offer an aged care loan that can be used specifically to assist the consumer to pay the RAD and the DAP. Is that right? It's a combination.
That's right. So Trobe Financial offers the aged care loan, which can be used to pay the RAD. So that gives consumers a choice. You can keep your home, you can renovate, you can keep that valuable asset. But with the facility, you do have the option to pay this RAD-DAP combination, the RAD-DAP combo as it's called.
So just the RAD is the deposit that you pay when you first go into the home, and that's refundable when you leave. And the DAP is what you have to pay daily, sort of, like a nightly accommodation fee.
That's right. So the RAD is the cost of the room, but you don't have to pay it in full. You can pay a smaller RAD and then pay a daily fee.
Right.
You can ask the facility provider to deduct the daily fee from your RAD, and that improves your cash flow situation.
So basically, if you're looking at moving into a nursing home, let's put this into a scenario, okay,
Yes.
so we can all understand it. So if you're looking at moving into a nursing home and they've said to you, your RAD is $600,000 and you may want to pay that all up front in a lump sum, then when you move out, you'll get your $600,000 back minus a little bit or whatever. And then on top of that, every day you have to pay a certain amount to be within the aged care facility. So there are other options available.
So in that example, if you paid the $600, there'd be no daily fee to pay.
Right.
If you paid $300 using a loan, you then have to pay the remainder $300 on a daily rate.
And that's where you can come in and help out.
So we help out with the loan, and then you can ask the facility to deduct the daily amount from the $300 RAD.
So often these funds would be generated through selling a property, selling a family home.
Oh, to pay for your RAD.
Yeah, in the first place. But if you didn't want to do that, are there other financing options available, Martin?
That's right. So you can use a loan, for example, whilst you renovate the property or lease the property to a family member, and then you can keep that valuable asset. It gives you those options.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's a loan, obviously, so that's obviously going to incur an interest payment on that. What sort of interest are we looking at?
So the Trobe Financial Aged Care Loan has an interest rate of 5.6% currently. Right. And you can pay that interest, or it can accrue on the loan, and therefore you don't have that cash flow that you have to find every month.
But where this might be really useful for many people is the decision to move into aged care sometimes can be made pretty quickly, as
Often
you well know.
made very quickly.
But depending on the market conditions of the real estate market or your family circumstances, you may not want to sell the family home very quickly. You might want to time that for 2 years down the track or 6 months. So that's where potentially financing through Trobe Financial actually may be a very viable option for you. Makes sense.
That's right. It gives you the flexibility. You can have the loan for 5 years. You can have the loan for 6 months. Entirely flexible.
Right. So how do you go about setting the loan up then? What's the process,
Well,
Martin?
just call our friendly staff on 13 80 10 and they'll help you out.
And Trobe Financial are sponsors of Older Wiser Happier, but this is offering people who are facing important life decisions flexibility.
And it's really hard to know where to go. From our own experience, we even found that you walk into the nursing home or the aged care facility and you're confronted with this wad of paperwork.
All these figures.
And you just go, oh, okay. And because you're not prepared for the situation, and it's not like you have education before you go into this situation, to know that you can walk out and go and ask the questions is quite nice.
So it would be worthwhile, would it, Martin, for people who are thinking this process is necessarily not coming, in the next week or so, but is it certainly in the foreseeable future, to come and look at your website, speak to you guys, so that they at least have got some options there when the time comes.
Absolutely. So we can help walk consumers through the product,
Yes.
and we can also give you feedback on particular scenarios as well.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because at the time normally when it happens, everyone's very emotional, stressed
out, aren't they?
and you're making decisions sometimes on the hop. Sometimes like we had,
Well,
with
also-
a parent coming out of a hospital.
And it's left to one individual out of a whole family of siblings to be making a decision on behalf of everyone, whereas at least if you can get some communication happening beforehand, you know exactly where you're at.
Exactly.
Indeed. Happy to help.
Thanks for coming in today, Martin.
No problem.
Thanks very much, Martin.
Great information. Martin Barry from Latrobe Financial, they are sponsors of ours. Their website, though, is latrobefinancial.com.au. Remember, everybody's financial circumstances are unique and different. So, of course, we do suggest that you seek your independent financial advice, but Latrobe Financial certainly can help you out. latrobefinancial.com.au. This is Older, Wiser, Happier with the Donaldson Sisters.